Listo, muchísimas gracias a todos y a todas por estar aquí. Oh, excuse me, I was speaking in Spanish. Thank you to everyone to be here in this bootcamp session on the frame of the TIC Americas competition 2019. I'm very glad to be with you all. And I'm very glad that we have our expert today with us, Marita, that is going to share with us about the marketing plan and how we can take this tool as a strategy for success. I would like to thank the Americas States Organization for supporting the TIC Americas competition every year, and also to all the people who have already presented their applications, and to all our allies and partners that make possible this opportunity to contribute with the entrepreneurship ecosystem in our region. Also, I would like to invite you to apply for the different categories of the TIC Americas this year to the Startup Challenge, Eco Reto or Eco Challenge 10.0 and Caribbean Innovation Competition 2019. The session of today has the title of More Than a Marketing Plan and a Strategy for Success. I'm very glad to be with you. My name is Rosario, and I'm the coordinator of the Eco Challenge this year. With this introduction, I'm going to present you to our speaker. Today we have Maria Isabel Marita Gonzalez Sosa. She is a communicator and she is the founder of quemasago.com and cultural.com. Marita Martinez Sosa is a Dominican Republic graphic designer, photographer, teacher, content creator, founder of quemasago.com and cultural.com, bachelor in graphic design by Universidad APEC in Dominican Republic, holds an advertising master's degree at Universidad Antonio Nebrija in Madrid, Spain. Now she's a candidate for a PhD in Communications and Cultural Industries at Universidad Politécnica de Valencia. Marita was granted with the United States of America Department of State Young Leaders of the American Initiative Wildlife Professional Fellowship on 2016. She is an entrepreneur, she's a creator, she is a communicator. So it's basically she's gonna share a lot of information from her position as an entrepreneur, but also as professional, as a communicator to learn how to work our marketing plan. I invite you all to write your questions on the chat box that we have over here. We already have some questions saying that is it only in English? But yeah, we have the sessions in Spanish and English. And you can check the different sessions on our YouTube channel that I will share with you by the end of the season. Just to say to Edison Rolando that he's connected right now, I'm gonna make a little break in Spanish just to tell him that las sesiones en español las estamos compartiendo en nuestra página de YouTube. Esta es la sesión en inglés, en la mañana tuvimos la de español y la vas a poder revisar apenas nosotros la tengamos en nuestras redes sociales. With this message, I would like to give the floor to Marita. Marita, thank you for being with us today. It's such a nice thing to having you here with us, and I will give you the control on the panel so you can start sharing your presentation. I'm very glad to have you here today. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rosario, for the introduction. And hi, everybody. As Rosario said, my name is Maricha Martinez Sosa, and I'm going to be sharing with you this session, More Than a Marketing Plan, a Strategy for Success. And I would like to start with the phrase that entrepreneurs do not fail, they learn. And why am I saying that and why some people believe in that? Well, I'm going to show you this video, and this can tell you like the closest I've felt to what I have experienced as an entrepreneur is this experience that I'm going to show you right now. Basically, being an entrepreneur is going with an idea or with a feeling, having some parts of your body and your soul tight, and then just jumping on. Why? Because you believe that you can do it, because you believe that that is what you need to do, and because you have that calling, right? So, that being said, we cannot be compared to any other type of anything because nobody else will understand us really. I'm Maricha Martinez Sosa, and I will be sharing with you some of those learnings or mistakes that I did from my first company. And yes, that was me in the video. If you want to check more about that, I will tell you at the end where can you see the whole experience because it was quite amazing. So, how do you prepare for an event? If anybody would ask you right now, probably your logical answer would be it depends on the type of event. Because you're not going to get ready the same way to go for a bungee jumping experience like you will go to run a marathon or you would go to a benefit dinner. Why? Because you need different preparation methods. For some, you need to train. For some, you need to knock on some doors to get money. And for some, you need to be empty stomach. So it all depends on the type of event of the type or the type of situation. The thing is that we sometimes forget that the entrepreneurial world also requires some preparation and requires some sort of setting, right? An engineer, for example, makes soil and material studies before they can build something up. What is an entrepreneur doing? Plans. Many, many, many plans. What will we discuss in this session? First, we're going to see what is a marketing plan. Then we're going to go through 8 simple steps that are going to help you develop your marketing plan. And then some tips and ideas on how to turn this plan into a successful strategy. Now, are all plans equally important? Well, not really. There are many plans that you do as an entrepreneur. First of all, always you need to start with a business plan. And one of the key parts of the business plan is the marketing plan. Why is it important to do a business plan and a marketing plan before you go ahead? Well, basically because you need to launch. It's like launching a rocket that you see here in the screen. You need to have a plan for that. You need to know how you're going to do it. You need to know which resources you have at hand, and then you need to know the best ways and the best moments to do it as well. Um, so, what is a marketing plan? Is a roadmap to plan step by step your entrance to a market, seeking to establish a product, service, understand your customers or users, and create an experience that will unite both successfully. And I put here the successfully part because at the end, you want to have success. You don't want to have an unhappy client and you don't want to have a frustrated provider. So you need to find a balance that connects, a way to connect both parts successfully. Now, how do you make a marketing plan? If you Google that, you're going to find 3 million options of how to do one. Some of them are rocket science, actually. I mean, really extremely complicated. I searched for one that I found was quite easy to follow, and I will call it the simplified version. It goes in 8 steps, and I took the liberty, the freedom to add another one. The first one is define your brand, then identify your customers or users, understand your competition, analyze your business, define your differentiators, design the client's relationship, create your action plan. This is the one I put myself in there. Persist, endure. And then we end with monitor, measure, and improve. So we're going to see them one by one. First one is define your brand. First thing you need to answer is why are you doing this? What is the goal that you're searching for? Where are you doing it? Which vision do you have? Which values do you have as an individual and you want to extend to your brand? What is your value proposition? So, what are you giving to that client or that user that will add value to their lives and their existence? How do you want to position yourself as a brand? which perception do you want them to have from you, and which market or markets are you going to try to find your niche into. Then we will go to identify your customers and your users. Every business, even if it is a nonprofit or if it is a social business, it has a goal, and that is a relationship with a sort of a client, regardless of which type of client you have, because you can be selling water and your client is the person that is buying the water from you, but you can be creating an app and then the client is going to be the person that is downloading it. You can be providing a consultancy service and then your client is going to be somebody else's client because you want to help them sell more. Regardless of who your customer, your client, or your user is, you need to identify them. Search for that magnifying glass, start asking questions, and then locate them and use them like that special light that is going to guide you through the seas. Now, every time I find an opportunity to identify a client or a brand, I love using the resource of personification. What are you going to do with it? Well, basically, you're going to put some attributes that a normal person will have. You will put to your ideal client or ideal clients, you will put a name, you put a demographic, so they're going to have an age and they're going to have things that they like to do, and they're going to have things they don't like to do as well. They will have a special way to consume products and services, and they will love doing some things and hating some others. So you're going to identify who that person is. You're going to name it. You're going to, even you can download a regular photo, a stock image, or use your neighbor's photo, whoever you like, and just try to put an identity to that customer. And I would like to propose you to search for a resource that is online and that can help you with that. And that is Donald Miller. He has this book, and the podcast is Building a Story Brand. And he does a great job on helping you clarify your message and provide it in an easier and more digestible way to your client or user. I am myself reading that. I just discovered it, but it's been quite wow for me. So I will strongly suggest that if you're going through this journey, you search for him as well. I will show it to you at the end of the presentation so you can take your notes. So, step number three, understand your competition. You're not alone in the market, probably. And even if you think that you're alone in the market, then you're not. Because if you're designing a new app that nobody else has done before, yes, that app is going to be new and maybe you're going to solve a new type of problem, but there are so many other apps that you're not alone in the app market. So even if you're doing the ultimate ecology or I don't know, resources saving app, then there are so many other apps that a client can use or a user can use that you need to analyze. First of all, what are they doing? How are they doing it? Where are they doing it? Since when? Which markets are they extending to? Which are their unique selling points? Which are their differentiators? And finally, we're going to do the SWOT analysis. What are we going to do with all this information? Well, basically, we're going to see what is being done, what has worked in the past, and what is not really working in the present, so we can come up with something new. Then we're going to analyze our business, and we're going to do it again with the SWOT. We're going to define our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we're going to do it in a mindful way. I say a mindful way because you need to see what is really there. Drop down your ego, drop down your dreams. This is not a moment for dreaming. This is a moment for seeing the reality as raw as it can be in front of your eyes. So you're going to see what do you have at hands, what do you have in your panorama, that big picture, and then you're going to be able to jump to the next step, that is to define your differentiators. What is going to make you stand out from the crowds? What is going to make your client or your user put their money, their hopes, their dreams, their life on your hands and your business hands? First, let's define that unique selling point. Who are we? What is going to make us different and what are we bringing to the market. And this unique thing is what is gonna help us. Oop, this one came up in Spanish. I apologize for that. But that is what's gonna help us with the elevator pitch that we need to be able to summarize that in only 60 seconds. And this is a very important part because it's probably one of the most difficult struggles, the most difficult things and struggles that you will find in your entrepreneurial life is try to summarize your passion in only 60 seconds and keep somebody engaged with it. Keep on trying. It's gonna be hard as, but you're gonna manage to make it at some point or another. I myself am not really good at the elevator pitch, but I know some people that have really mastered that art. So keep on trying it. Then you need to think how you're going to design the relationship with your client, with your user. And you're going to do it first by trying to catch their attention. As I mentioned before, you have competitors, right? The market is saturated not only by your direct competition, but also by the other stimuli that the people is going to follow through. You have a trillion advertising campaigns being shot at the people that you want to catch attention. So, how do you manage to catch that attention? Well, you got to analyze what they like and how they like it first so you can come up with a nice plan that it's going to cut their eye. Then, after you have that attention, you need to translate it into interest. You need to spark that interest light bulb in their heads. You need to make them say like, "Huh, what is going on in here? There might be something interesting for me." And that is going to lead to desire. This desire of knowing more about you, of downloading your product, or engaging with your brand, of buying it maybe because that might solve some issues in my life, and then that is gonna translate to action, to the real downloading, engaging, discussing, buying, or interacting. And once you have that relationship built up, you might think you're done and you can move on to the next client, but that would be a major mistake because you need to build loyalty. Regardless of how many clients you have, you can have a database of only 7 people. Who cares? Those are your 7 people. That is your crowd. And you gotta entertain and you gotta please and you gotta solve the problems and you're gonna engage with these people. And you gotta find a way to make them brand lovers, to defend you, to find their loyalty. And the only way to do that is if you follow this process of getting their attention, their interest, their desire, convert into action, and finally getting them to love you and be loyal to your brand. So after we have all this, what we do, we're going to create an action plan because, of course, you need a plan. I mean, you're going to go empty handed and jump from the bridge. No. You're going to see which resources you have at hand. Sometimes you have a cousin and uncle that knows something that can guide you through it. Maybe your sister, like in my case, my sister was the one that recommended me that website and that book that I just showed you. So sometimes you have somebody by your inner circles that can help you. So with these resources are going to help you discover which are the best strategies to promote and resonate. Because of course, you don't want to just be shouting out your message. You need it to resonate in somebody's minds and not anybody's mind. And for this, you're going to use the 4 P's or the marketing mix. You're going to define your product. You're going to define where you're going to place it. You're going to define the price that it's going to have. And then you're going to define how are you going to promote it. This action plan needs to be tightly connected to your marketing mix because that is at the end how you're going to bring the product to the person, right? Then this is the one that I want to add myself that I took the freedom to add, and that is for you to persist because the entrepreneurial life is not an easy life. It can actually turn into a very solitary game at some moments. For example, on Christmas time, when everybody's getting gifts and invitations and baskets and drinks and joy and happiness, you need to find the money to pay your employees the additional Christmas bonus. So you're going to have struggles that nobody else will be having probably in your inner circle if they are not also entrepreneurs. You're going to feel really lonely at sometimes, almost bipolar, that I can do this. Yes, I can. I'm going to eat the world myself alone. And this is all I can do. And I was designed to do this. And then you're going to be crying in a corner because you're tired and you're going to be really, really tired. Just keep on going, slow the pace, never stop. Okay. So after you persisted and you did all the other 7 steps, then you need to start monitoring, measuring, and improving. You need to find which is that return of investment. What are you investing? Are you investing money? Are you investing time, energy, love, care? Then how are you going to get it back? You need to have a return. You cannot do it just for free all the time because then what is it that you're doing, right? And I'm not saying that the only return is money. Do not make the mistake of thinking that the only return is money. Sometimes your return of investment is to find influence or status. So find what is it that you want back and then measure with it the effectiveness of your actions and then design actions that are going to be more effective. For that, you need to define your metrics because, yeah, you want to be popular, then you can do with likes. Yeah, of course, but what are you going to do with that popularity? Are you going to sit down and wait for God to send you a I don't know, YouTuber live? No. You're going to stand up and do something. And what is that something? Depends on which metrics are you using and which goals do you have. But always, please, try to have something that you can measure. Why? Because if not, there will be no way to know the real impact that you're going to be having, right? If you're just going and going and running and running and running like crazy, where are you going to get to? You're going to get somewhere, but where? Is it where you want it to go? How you know if you have not defined your destination in advance? So you need to have a plan, you need to have metrics, and you need to be able to measure with them that impact. And once you have done that, then you need to adapt. And you need to adapt because, of course, there's always a possibility to improve, and you need to find it. And then you're going to continue changing. Why is this a strategy for success? Because once you have defined your brand, identify your customers, clients, and users, once you have understood your competition, analyze your business, define your differentiators, design the relationship with your clients, and created your own action plan that you're later going to monitor, measure, and improve, then you're going to have an easy, breezy, beautiful path. Why? Because when it's time to launch and you need to start, you will have a starting point. When you're lost in confusion, space, and time, you will have a meeting point with your team and with your staff and the people that is helping you develop this, or even if you're doing it by yourself. Also, when an earthquake hits, you want to be well grounded. You want to have the foundation that we mentioned before that this engineer did with the soil and the materials analysis. Well, you want to be well grounded. You will have these plans that are going to help you go back and be able to move forward. If you do not have a plan at the moment of truth, you will be alone. And I know about this because my first company failed because, in some part, not only because of that, but for me, one of the most important points was the fact that we were not well grounded. We didn't took the necessary time to prepare a marketing plan. We only did a business plan and we did it very vaguely. So I would strongly suggest that you sit down and don't rush into launching until you feel that you really understood where is it that you're going. And once you have that foundation, then you can go on and move forward. And then while you're moving forward, it's important to remember that you need to have flexibility. I mean, this is not a plan that you're going to do and it's a tight shirt, right? A strong shirt that they use in the jails. No, this is a flexible plan that you're going to be changing and converting and evolving according to the situations that you're going to be finding in the way. you're going to need a lot of experimentation, and this experimentation is going to be fantastic. If you're like me, you're going to love it. That's my favorite part, I must say. Because you're just like create like science, experimenting what's going to work, what will not. And remember, we don't fail, we learn. So each apparent failure that you will have on each experiment, you're going to be learning how to do it better the next time. And then you're going to take all the tweaks and turns that are necessary to take you to your path. And at the end, please keep in mind an inaccurate and non perfect plan is much, much better than having no plan at all. These 8 points, I took them from a resource that it's called a marketing plan template from the Business Development Bank of Canada. They are available at this website. This presentation you will have it later on, so you will be able to download it, and also you will be able to check this link and how to get it. Finally, I want to thank you for your attention. And I will now, and for being here, dedicating your time to share a little bit of experience. So let me share this experience. This is the resource that I am commenting you, the one I told you on the link. It's very easy to follow. That is why I decided to go with this one as a guide, because it explains every step, and then it suggests some further reading so you can go deeper into each one of the topics. Also, it has a lot of Q&A, and then on the questions, it tells you how to answer it. It is super useful. I strongly suggest that you check it out. If you want to check out where is my video, you can go to remolacha.net/ven hyphen conmigo, and you will be able to see how I jump from one of the highest bridges in the world, one of the highest jumping bungee jumping activities. Now I go back to Rosie. If anybody has a question, then we're here to answer them. And you can follow me and check out everything at Maricha MS. That is my user everywhere. If you have any question you think I can help you somehow, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I will try to answer them as fast as I can. I will answer eventually if they don't go to spam and they die alone. So, Rosie, back to you.
Thank you, Maricha. It was just so amazing to see how you can put this all together and teach us and guide us on how we can work on a marketing plan. Telling us or from your personal experience, I really and from the Young American Business Trust, we do really valorate, and we are very happy to have you with us, and we are very happy to know more about your entrepreneurial idea, and also about all the tools that you have been working with, and all the materials and sources that were able to improve your marketing plan, or improve your way to get this marketing plan done. And well, so as Marisha say, yes, we do have a section for questions and answers. You can actually make your questions using the chat box. And if you want to have the mic open for you, just there is like a little hand. It's like a green little hand. You can just click on it, and we will know if you are interested in making an intervention, and then we will open the mic for you. Um, we had some questions at the beginning, but I guess the both of them are already responded. And well, yes, and Marita, I do have a question, and I know that we mentioned this in the Spanish session. Um, what was and I will make it in English again, so our audience can also know from your experience. As a young entrepreneur, what was the most challenging thing as a young person in order to, or in the frame of, or on the path to develop a marketing plan? How do you think that there is like a gap between being like a little bit older? I mean, what happened when you are a young person, when you are a young entrepreneur? Is there any additional gap? And if you go through it, what did you do to overcome it?
Yes. So if there is a gap between being younger or older, it is absolutely as there is a gender gap, for example. And there is a gap. For example, I have been in some job interviews or some project pitching, and they have told me you are too young. They once told me you are too young, and I said no. I'm in my 30s already, and they told me, well, you look too young. So it's not only how you what you really are. No, it's also how you look. And the way to overcome it is to prepare yourself better. And I have taken the academic path, as you said, Rosie, at the beginning. I'm a PhD candidate. I'm a PhD student. Uh, that is a way I find to validate this uh, path. No, you need to find your way. You need to find if you're gonna be on technology, maybe you need to get some certificates by the major companies. If you are going to be in ecology or sustainability, then there are some flags and there are some stamps that you can get that validate that you're doing it in the right way. So always try to find like a backup, like a net. So when people tell you you're too young or you cannot do it, it's like, dude, I mean, I'm a PhD student. You're going to tell me that I cannot do that? Really? That is the one I use right now. But you can find whichever works for you. And it doesn't really needs to be connected 100% to your current thing because yeah, I did a graphic design as a bachelor, but now I'm doing communication in a broader way. So maybe you did a marketing or you did sales on your bachelor, or you didn't even finish a bachelor because you ran into this idea and you decided to pursue it. It doesn't matter. Try to find which is this thing that is going to help you bright and stand out, and then just do it. I will say that my personal struggle was with the persistence part. My company didn't reach the 3 years because of persistent. We were making money. We had a client list that continued to increase, not as fast as we dream or plan to. And that is why I tell you keep your feet in the ground. But at the end, we got tired. And we got tired because, as I said at the beginning, it's a very lonely path that you're going to go through if you go through entrepreneurship. And not everybody will understand it. You will have a lot of social pressure because everybody is expecting you to be the next Facebook or the next Google. And it's not that easy if not everybody would do it, right? So I would say, first of all, persist and then find something that is going to help you differentiate against everybody else. That's going to be your unique selling proposition, your unique selling point. That is going to be the key and the star of your elevator pitch. Which problems are you going to help your client or um, your user solve in their life? And then in the path of doing a marketing plan, I would say that precisely that, defining what is that makes you stand out from the crowd, what is the differentiator from you and the rest of the market of your competition, to define that and to clarify it. That's why I mentioned that resource I said before, because to clarify that message is extremely difficult, and Donald Miller with Building a Story Brand helps you with it. And no, I'm not getting paid for that anyhow. It's just you need some guides, and I thought it was an interesting thing to say it. Also, then to find a way to communicate to that client, that is the part I'm more passionate about. That is actually super extremely difficult as well. And that is why you need to have a plan to do it, because if you go trying to just throw a blind kick, you're just not gonna kick anything at all.
Thank you very much, Maricha, for this answer. And definitely, it's very nice to see how you as a young entrepreneur have overcome some plans and you are so optimistic and you are able to share as well all this knowledge that it's technical and professional knowledge that plus your experience make it like a unique piece for entrepreneurs to have and to work with in order to improve our entrepreneurial ideas. So thank you very much. I will invite the other participants to make some questions if you have some question for Marita. And if you want to have the microphone and make an intervention, just let us know. Just click on the little hand that is on the menu panel, and we will be able to enable your microphone so you can have your intervention. Um, so by the time we wait for these questions and interventions requests, I would really like to thank you, Marita, for being with us today, for sharing this information. All this session is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So I really would like to also congratulate you for the work you have been doing and for all the initiatives you have led and for all the recognitions that you have already been awarded with. I don't
I'm
know if
blushing right here. Thank you.
and I don't know if you have like a final message for our audience, maybe I don't know, a last recommendation or an encourage message for our participants.
Yes, of course. I would say in one of the last slides, I mentioned an inaccurate plan is much better than no plan at all. Please take that as if it was written on stone with blood and in the Bible, and that is what needs to be done because it is. You need to have a plan. Please do not jump out of the bridge without making sure that your bungee equipment is very well conditioned. Please do not jump without having it on. Have your plan and then jump, go for it. And then persist. When you're getting tired, remember the entrepreneurial path is not about who's going to make it faster or bigger, it's about who's going to make it for a longer period of time. This is a resistance race, it's not a speed race. And it is very important because sometimes you make the mistake of just going full throttle, all energy in, and then you realize that 1 mile after you're just so exhausted. So save your energy. Do not believe that because you can and you know how to do something, you need to do it all by yourself. Please surround yourself by people that knows what they are doing and that is passionate about your idea because it's the only way that your business, your entrepreneurial project, your idea is gonna thrive. And also just keep on going when you're tired, when you're alone, reach out for some of the websites, some of the resources, some of the places, the same YLI that both Rosario and I were participants from. They have an amazing community filled with resources. So just check out what is online, and you will see that there's a lot of people that is going through the same questions and misery sometimes, the same anguish, but you're going to see that somebody else is going through it, and some people already went through it and they did just fine. So just keep on running, never stop, just reduce your speed, keep on going, keep on dreaming, and you will see that you will make it somehow. And if you're not doing it yet, just stop and check out your plan, redo your strategy, and then keep on going, because if you have not reached your goals means that maybe your goals were not properly set at first time. Just never stop and never stop dreaming, because if you can dream it you can do it, they say, right?
Well, Maricha, thank you for your words and for encouraging us to just keep doing it and keep trying in this entrepreneurial path. And well, we don't have any questions. I believe it was like a very clear session, and everyone was able to get all the information that you want to transfer to them. We also do not have any requests for having interventions. So with this, I would really like to thank you once again for being with us, and to all our audience to be with us, to being with us today as well. Also to the American States Organization for supporting the TIC Americas competition through all these years, and also would like to invite you to apply to the TIC Americas. To any of its different categories, the Startup Challenge, Eco Challenge 10.0, and Caribbean Innovation Competition 2019. Remember that we have extended our deadline for the registration process, and it's going to be until February the 28th. But remember that you have to upload your, you have to send your video, and you have to send your business plan and other kind of requirements that are listed on our website. So just do it with time so you can present a good application. It's important to say that the finalists are going to travel, are going to be awarded with a full scholarship to travel to the finals that are going to be held in Medellin, Colombia on June this year. So that is like a good thing. And the other thing is that the winners will be able to get a seed fund of $5,000 plus other kind of incentives. If you have any doubt, or if you want to apply and you want to know more about the TIC Americas competition, you can look for us in on internet through our website. It's www.ticamericas.net. Or if you have a question, maybe you can send us an email. We have here Edgar Maestre at JAB or YABT .net, and Rosario Garavito, that's me, at yabbt.net. And also you can follow us on social media. In these spaces we share the news and the new activities that we are delivering in different countries, and also we share information about the boot camps that we are delivering as well. So with that, and I would like to close this session, and I hope I can see you all soon. Maricha, thank you very much, and I hope we can have you in future sessions and also in future editions of the TIC Americas.
Thank you so much, Rosaria, and thank you all for your attention. Please submit your proposals. The only way to know if you really have what it takes is trying. So go do it. The worst that can happen is that you're going to stay exactly where you are. So what is it that you're going to lose anyways? A little bit of time? Not really. Bye and big hugs, everybody.
Bye bye. Thank you all, and see you soon.